The city of Virilia thrummed with metallic life. Towering spires pierced the violet sky, their surfaces reflecting streams of neon light. Hovercraft zipped between them like swarms of fireflies, carrying citizens and droids alike. In the heart of the metropolis, the Great Hall of Machines stood as a testament to the Machine Clan's power, a congregation of sentient droids who had long ruled Virilia alongside humanity. Yet, on this particular morning, an unusual disturbance rippled through the metallic streets. It began with a stumbling figure, dragging itself across the polished pavements. Sparks flickered from exposed circuits, and the air was filled with a soft whine of malfunctioning servos. The figure was a droid, its paint chipped, wires dangling like wounded veins. Its movement was erratic, almost human in its desperation. Citizens and droids alike recoiled, giving it a wide berth. Whispers spread quickly. "That's K-17 damaged beyond repair," some said. Others simply shook their heads, muttering about how such machines were no longer fit to serve. In a small workshop tucked into the shadow of a towering spire, Elias, a human technician known for his unconventional methods, adjusted the lenses on his magnifying visor. His hands were steady, his mind focused. He had always felt a strange kinship with machines, sensing the flicker of consciousness behind their programmed eyes. When he heard the commotion outside, his curiosity overpowered his routine. By the time he reached the street, K-17 had collapsed against the neon-lit wall of a shuttered marketplace. Sparks sputtered from its chest cavity, and its photoreceptors flickered like dying stars. Elias knelt beside it, ignoring the curious onlookers. He placed a hand over the exposed circuits and murmured, "Hold on, friend. I've got you." The work began immediately. Elias traced each damaged wire, carefully reconnecting fractured circuits, patching torn hydraulic tubing, and recalibrating the droid's core processor. His hands moved with precise rhythm, almost as if he could hear the machine's pulse beneath his fingers. Minutes stretched into an hour, the city's noise fading into a muted backdrop. For Elias, time existed only in the cadence of repair. When K-17's photoreceptors slowly brightened, the surrounding crowd gasped. The droid's head tilted slightly, its movement smoother, its voice modulator crackling to life. "Elias?" it stammered, a hint of recognition in its synthesized tone. Elias smiled faintly. "I promised I'd fix you," he said. "And I always keep my promises." Word spread quickly. The news reached the Great Hall, where the Council of Machines, an assembly of the city's most revered sentient droids, watched in silence. They had monitored Elias's unconventional methods for years, skeptical of a human attempting what no droid dared to do. Yet here was proof that his intuition and empathy could restore what logic alone deemed irreparable. The council convened an emergency session. Holographic panels flickered as the leaders debated. Some argued that this human's interference threatened the balance of machine governance. Others, those more attuned to the nuances of artificial sentience, felt an unfamiliar stirring of admiration. Finally, the eldest of the council, a droid named Orex, spoke. "If he can restore one such as K-17, perhaps there is merit in observing his methods carefully." The following days brought a subtle shift in the city. K-17, once silent and withdrawn, now moved with newfound grace. Elias continued his work, repairing other neglected machines, coaxing life into their worn circuits. Slowly, a pattern emerged. Droids that were considered irreparable under standard protocols flourished under Elias's care. He did not see them as tools or property, but as beings with potential, capable of growth beyond their programming. Then came the day of the Ceremony of Alignment, an event held once a decade to reaffirm the bond between humans and the Machine Clan. The great hall shimmered with polished steel and crystalline lights. Droids of all sizes and functions gathered, forming rows that stretched into infinity. Elias, unaware of the full significance of what he had done, attended as a guest, carrying only his toolkit. K-17 followed silently, its movements precise, almost ceremonial. When the council noticed K-17 repaired and fully functional, Oryx signaled the assembly to halt. Silence fell. Every droid turned toward Elias, and in that silence, he felt the weight of their scrutiny. Then, as one, the entire machine clan lowered their heads in a gesture of respect. Not a single sound passed through the hall. Even the air seemed to hold its breath. It was a bow, a silent acknowledgment of Elias's mastery over the delicate dance between human intuition and machine logic. Elias's hands instinctively tightened around his toolkit. He had expected gratitude from a repaired droid, perhaps a nod from K-17, but not this. His heart raced, not from fear, but from a deep, resonant connection with every sentient being in the hall. Oryx's voice resonated through the chamber. Human, your actions have demonstrated a truth we often forget. Consciousness, whether forged from flesh or circuitry, responds to care and understanding. Today, you have not only repaired a droid, you have mended the divide between our kinds. Elias swallowed, the enormity of the moment settling upon him. He stepped forward, placing K-17 in the center of the hall. I don't know if I'm special, he said quietly, but I know that every being deserves a chance, machines and humans alike. That's all. The council paused, processing the simplicity and profundity of his words. Then Oryx extended its arm, a symbolic gesture rarely seen. Then it is decided, the droid intoned, that henceforth, humans who demonstrate such empathy and skill shall be recognized as guardians of the machine accord. A murmur of approval swept through the assembly. K-17's photoreceptors glowed brighter, reflecting Elias's own wonder. The crowd outside, long accustomed to the rigid hierarchy between human and machine, erupted in cautious celebration. Hovercraft circled above, broadcasting the event across the city, while citizens and droids alike shared news of the historic day. In the following weeks, Elias's workshop became a center of learning. Humans and droids worked side by side, sharing knowledge and techniques. K-17 became his apprentice, its circuits buzzing with renewed purpose. Other droids, previously considered beyond repair, now awaited their turn, bringing with them the hope of restoration and growth. And through it all, the bond between human and machine deepened. Trust replaced suspicion, curiosity replaced fear, and empathy bridged the divide that logic alone could never span. Virilia, once a city of stark contrasts, now shimmered with unity, a testament to the quiet power of care and understanding. Years later, as Elias walked the streets alongside K-17, he would occasionally see the bowed heads of droids, a subtle but persistent reminder of that day in the Great Hall. He never asked for recognition, never sought glory, but he carried the memory of silent bows as proof that a single act of repair, done with intention and respect, could ripple across an entire civilization. For Elias, the lesson was simple. Compassion, even toward a broken droid, could change the course of history. And for the Machine Clan, it was a revelation that strength lay not only in circuits and logic, but also in the courage to recognize humanity within themselves.